Following contest is in the bantamweight division. Here come your fighters. First, making his way out to the blue corner, this is Nick Kambasis.
Well, we have another a couple of debuters, and this is what because typically I'm in Michigan, and I'll travel through the states quite often because I live in Windsor, but train fighters in Michigan. But what's always interesting to me is when I come to fights in Ontario of how much depth their experience is before stepping. Because when we say a debut in the cage, it's not. I feel like in Ontario it's so different. I've been in this for commentating probably 10 years, and probably 10 years ago in Michigan, I mean, green was green. If this was a debuter, I mean, they looked like they hadn't thrown a punch, you know. But when you're in Ontario, you're going to see typically high levels somewhere, whether that's their stand-up game, their ground game. It is not what it sounds like when we say a debuter.
The talent is so rich in Ontario. It's so rich. It is really a hub for mixed martial arts here in Canada.
Did you notice a difference when they legalized it? Did you see a transition? Because typically you would have been having to fight elsewhere outside of Ontario.
Yeah, that's one thing. We were always behind the province of Quebec, but we traveled. We always traveled. We traveled to Quebec. We traveled to Alberta, where the rules were a lot less strict, and we were getting that experience. Look, the depth is very, very strong here in Ontario. The camps, it's very localized. You got, down the 401 stretch, you got teams such as MTC, Windsor Maximum Training Center. You got the Laramie Brothers. You got Adrenaline Training Center here in London, Ontario. The pool is very, very strong. The guys like Jesse Ronson still fighting in high level, World Series of Fighting, PFL, Chad Laprise coming out of the school, Sam Stout, Mark Hominick. You go down the street to Toronto, and the talent is so deep there, right? All localized. We're all within 2 hours of each other. So when you see guys coming from Ontario, the game they bring is definitely seasoned.
His opponent, making his way out to the red corner, please welcome Gino Ghalehpardaz.
So, Gino Ghalehpardaz, he is a London boy. Speaking of adrenaline, he's one of our very own. They call him the heel for a reason. He's the bad guy, and he's trying to make it a bad night for Nick Kambasis.
So tell us a little bit about, Gino, and, he's sitting 3-1 as an amateur, but coming into the pro ranks. At what point did you say, with Gino, did you guys say, okay, you know what, it's ready to turn the corner, it's time to be pro?
Yeah, he's been in the game for a long time. I think he's been training for close to 5 years, 5-6 years. A wealth of amateur experience, not just in the mixed martial arts, but in kickboxing, in jiu-jitsu. I believe he did 15, 20 competitions last year within the jiu-jitsu, mixed martial arts, kickboxing scene. He's not scared of a fight. He loves the fight. He loves the battle. He gets the cynical look in his eyes when he sees that opponent. He's having fun there. He's having a good time, and he's at home. And I told him before this fight, Gino, you're at home tonight. Show what you got to do. Show your skills. Everything's lined up for you. Go out there and take it. And that's what he's gonna do. He's a young stud. He's making his debut. He's got everything to win. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this fight.
This is going to be the tough part for you. This has always been the tough for me when I'm commentating and I have guys fighting, and it's hard not to be coaching, when you're out here commentating. And it's going to be an interesting showdown. Both of them having relatively the same in terms of amateur experience. Nick Kambasis, who is in the blue corner in the cage right now out of Oshawa, Ontario. These guys are around 130, so kind of floating between that 25 and 35.
I think both of these fighters will be making the move down to flyweight in the near future. This is more of a transition for them. Very, very similar in size. Both look to be flyweights definitely soon.
All right, fight fans, here we go. The following bantamweight contest is scheduled for 3 rounds, being brought to you by Ellis Don, Finch Auto Group, and Alexian Pharmaceuticals. Introducing your fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks trimmed in gray. Standing 5 feet 6 inches tall, he weighed in at 128.8 pounds. He's a freestyle mixed martial artist representing Cal Samrit Gym and Bruckman Martial Arts. He comes to the prospect cage for his debut professional fight tonight. Fighting out of and representing Oshawa, Ontario, ladies and gentlemen, here is Nick Kambasis. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks trimmed in red and white. Standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, he weighed in at 129.8 pounds. He's a freestyle mixed martial artist representing Adrenaline MMA. He comes to the prospect cage for his professional debut fight tonight. Fighting out of and representing London, Ontario, ladies and gentlemen, here is Gino, the heel Ghalehpardaz.
Hear that hometown crowd.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bantamweight matchup
I think they're
will
just
be
cheering
decided
for,
in 3
Pete
rounds
being able to say the last name.
or less. Referee Ivan Speck.
This is no small task ahead of Gino, though. Nick Kambasis, I've heard nothing but good things about this kid.
These guys geeked already. The referee trying to just get them to their own corners before we start this fight. Eager for the fight. Gino coming out as a southpaw. You can already tell has explosive movements just by the way he gets his in and out. And switching up is Nick Kambasis as well.
Yeah. So I've heard the Muay Thai game, the kicks, the punches, very, very strong from Nick Kambasis. Gino, he's an in-and-out fighter. He's looking to create openings.
I'm just seeing
Stay on that movement. Oh.
Nick does a great job, of mixing up his shots too, because if you're looking on the inside, all of a sudden something's coming on the outside.
With that, they're closed. They're chest to chest against the fence here. Gino Ghalehpardaz, he's got his back against the fence. Some old school foot stomps from Nick Kambasis going down.
Some shoulder bumps, getting a chance to utilize anything, to create space. Some knees up the center, reversing the position in his Gino. Oh, what a quick elbow. And this is the great thing. Like, if you can get some of those quick reactions off of a reverse, it make a huge difference. Nick Kambasis is very busy. I mean, that's a tricky fighter because, when he's so active, you just don't know where the shot's coming from.
This is, like I said, Muay Thai, this is where you want to be. That Thai clinch.
And there he did a great Thai clinch to bring the knee to the face as opposed to the belly.
You talk about the clinch that you get in wrestling, but the Muay Thai, the clinch game is world's best. So with that, Nick was able to go into a body lock, take Gino down to the mat. He's got side control.
It's just the difficulty with Nick having that blood kind of when he's on the one side going into his eye. The doctor may have to look at that.
We got the blood dripping from the face of Nick Kambasis. Gino powers his way, gets to his feet.
Ooh. See, the difference is the intensity, right? Nick kind of brings that high intensity, and Gino's got to catch up a little bit with just the intensity.
Big kick from Gino, big kick.
A great job of firing up and looking down from Gino. I can tell you're chomping at the bit, Coach. I can feel it from you.
No, definitely. Gino, he knows pressure. He's one of the main training partners of Malcolm Gordon, Canadian TKO flyweight champion. He's hunting for that Kimura. I think we saw that arm go a little funky there.
And see, this is what Nick does so well, and he's tough to fight because he's always busy. I mean, there's no hesitation. He looks for any opportunity to, be on offense.
Oh, hey. A knee to the grounded opponent. Foul by Nick Kambasis. Referee Patrick. Oh, sorry, not Patrick. Our referee is taking a look, making sure, checking in on Gino, making sure that
they both got lucky it didn't land clean, because obviously it would be a DQ for Nick.
No,
but
and that was
Gino would have been hurt.
Clearly downed opponent, clearly.
And that's what I was talking earlier about, the intensity of Nick Kambasis. It's, sometimes that's where you do run into problems, right? Where the intensity is there, and that's what you want to see out of your athlete, but it's hard in those kind of circumstances at times.
Oh.
Comes right back at him. Great overhand left from Gino, and a nice head kick. But then, he just looks to play defense, whereas he's got to just follow that up.
Oh.
An attack. Good.
Big kicks.
And again, the under-over from Nick Kambasis with his hands. Love the kicks. I love the intensity out of Gino now. He's starting to bring it.
Yeah, he's not scared of a fight, is Gino, and he can take a punch.
Well, it's sometimes just the adjustment to the pace, right? And that's why it's really important to mix up your tempo, because someone can adjust to your tempo. And he's definitely picked up his rhythm. And Nick just constantly looking to throw.
That's what Gino's got to do. He's got to get his back off the fence. Oh, hey. The ref didn't see it.
No, it was hard to tell if his hand was down or not. Especially with the lighter weights, stuff happens so quickly. It is tricky for the ref to pick up on.
No,
at times,
it's definitely not an easy task at hand.
But that eye of Nick Kambasis, at this point, probably the doctor going into the cage in the rest to see if it's going into his eye.
Definitely between rounds, we're going to see a doctor. We got 10 seconds.
What a fast-paced first round. A lot was done in that one round.
Oh.
And this is the time to regroup. We're going to see, because of the high intensity of Nick, if he's going to come out as fresh as Gino's going to come out in this second round, and then taking a look at that eye to see if it's the blood is going into that eye, if it'll have an impact.
I know that Gino Ghalehpardaz is in shape. He is in dog shape. This is a guy who normally fights 135, coming down to 130. He's brought the best version of himself. He's in shape.
Well, and a lot of success with those head kicks. I mean, I think that the round late in the mid to later round, he started to gain a lot of confidence, seeing what he was capable of. Because sometimes with the intensity of your opponent, you kind of question yourself and your spacing. And Gino started to find his rhythm, and that really started to seem to change that first round.
Seconds out.
I mean,
London, make some noise. We're going to round two.
We're going to see two different fighters come out in this second round.
Yeah, now it's how they're going to listen to the corners. Are the fighters going to be able to listen to the advice? Mark Hominick, Jesse Goff, Matty Havorka in the corner of Gino Ghalehpardaz. We got the team from Kal Salmarit Gym.
Again, beautiful kicks. His accuracy is fantastic. He'd be well served to feint and set it up so he can try and look for it clean. Like, look for a body shot with his hands and kick to the head. And again, with the intensity of Nick Kambasis.
Oh yeah, it's a violent intensity. He's coming forward. He doesn't care about closing the gap. Gino Ghalehpardaz, he is a newly promoted brown belt. So he's not scared to hit the mat. He threatened that Kimura from a standing position in the first round.
That would have been our submission of the night. You know that, right? We would have already called it for the night.
Yep. But he's not scared of the ground, so he's comfortable here. I think if Nick wants to play the strategy game, he should be able to maintain the distance and try to
See, my thing is more of just because we were talking about the intensity of Nick, I feel like that's where Gino, you start to see a fighter like Gino start to pick it up each round because they've stayed so relaxed. So that's where I'm expecting to see a different fight this round.
No, this is definitely a battle of wills right now.
It drains you when you use that high intensity adrenaline
Oh,
too much early.
Yeah.
It's a benefit if you're fighting a weaker opponent because they can crack and they break, right? But if it's someone that's game, it wears on you quickly.
Yeah, there's not going to be many things that are going to fluster Gino Ghalehpardaz.
I'd like to see him go back to those head kicks, set it up, you know, because he's so accurate with them.
Oh. Nice.
And again, Nick gets away with a lot of this because he doesn't worry about position first. He just looks to drop leather.
Yeah, yeah. No, definitely aggressive from the top. Gino bridging, defending that neck. He's got to make sure to defend the hands that are threatening the neck. Riding his back is Nick Kambasis. Oh, this is a very, very fatiguing position to be in for Gino. No choke is in. It's across the jaw there.
Oh, great scramble though
Wow.
from Gino. Did a great job. But the intensity.
Patience was able to get him out of that.
I mean, and if Nick is in great shape, I mean, he's going to be able to carry on this
Nice.
intensity through.
Right to the top is Gino Ghalehpardaz. Up to his feet, he's got his back up against the fence. The one arm is trapped. He needs to pull him away from the fence and be able to get him down to the mat. Nick Kambasis puts Gino now against the fence. They're jockeying for position. Elbow over top by Nick.
Just jockeying for position at this point. Both of these guys looking for their first win, both of them debuters as professionals. And again, as I said, doing a great job first time as a professional in the cage.
Great job by Gino. Maintaining that base, not letting his legs get taken out from underneath him. Nick Kambasis, again, looking for those elbows.
Some big elbows
Oh.
from Nick. I mean, both of them really exchanging elbows, and I think that's what they're going to have to look for is to do something different, so they're not in a stalemate.
Yep. So this is the battle. Trying to get underneath. Who gets underneath? Who can drop their level below their opponent will be able to get the advantage here. The clap, 10 seconds.
An attempt by Gino,
Oh,
the knee
big
up the
knee.
center,
The knee
and then
almost
he
went right up the
follows
middle.
up.
Oh! That was tough. Tough round to call. They're not done with each other yet. Nick Kambasis had to get ripped off by his quarterman.
Basically Gino's corner. If you're in Gino's corner, you're telling him, hey, you're down 2 rounds. Even if it's 1-1 on the scorecard, you're telling him you've got to go out there and you've got to make it happen. He has great kicks. He's got to start using them more and setting them up. I think that could be his moneymaker right there. I mean,
Yeah.
you feint with the jab and you go with the head kick. You jab or right hand to the body and you go with the head kick. I mean, I think that he's very accurate with it. If he can get a clean head kick off, I mean, that's to his advantage.
Yeah.
And Nick is, just his intensity. You don't know where a shot's coming from.
Yeah, Gino.
Here we go,
definitely-
London.
he's got
Seconds
that
out,
point
seconds
fighting
out.
style,
Make some
explosive style. Any
noise.
moment he can land a high
Agriplex.
kick, a
Third
straight
and
shot.
final round this matchup.
You know, if he wants to win this fight, maintaining it on the feet, staying on the outside might be the answer for the third round. There's nothing to hide here. You said it best, Kara. When you're in the corner, you gotta say straight up. Oh, and that's the second time Nick Kambasis looks to touch gloves with Gino and hits him right over top.
Yeah, and I mean, that should, to me, anyways, that should always be eliminated. Just get rid of it, because you have people that take advantage of it, and you can't be penalized.
100%.
I remember my first coach was just like, shake it off. If anyone wants to touch gloves, just shake it off. Say, nah, I'm good. I'm straight. Let's fight. Here we go, another high intensity. And as we saw, Nick, right off the opening bell, comes out with the straight right hand and brought the intensity.
Gino putting that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt to work here. You know, he's using the elevating hooks, creating space. Unfortunately, now he's getting his back taken.
You know, he started to settle in and match, you know, speed for speed, and he's kind of has to go back to that.
Yep. Yeah.
And he's got a lot of great skills. He just has to create the space to use them. This is where, if I'm Gino, I'm getting the reverse, and I'm going to separate.
He's got the Muay Thai. Oh, see. I was just going to say, the Muay Thai background, Nick Kambasis. The knees, the elbows on the inside. That's what he wants to do. With that, a shot to the groin hit. That's kind of the game. You gotta be careful with that. When you're chest to chest and you're exchanging the knees, it's very easy for one of those to slip in.
I guess you get out of a fight with Nick Kambasis and feel pretty beat up, because there's been a couple of fouls, and I know not intentional, but just. You know, if you're in the corner of Gino having to say, you always have to keep your hands up at all times, you know, just like you would tell a fighter, especially when you face somebody that is going to be that high intensity. What Nick does really well.
Yeah, if I was Gino right now, I wouldn't be touching gloves, that's for sure.
No, I mean, yeah, learn your lesson, not going to touch gloves.
Yeah, exactly.
And good, 3-2, he looked for that hook right hand.
Oh.
And then Gino's got to not go straight back. If he goes straight back, his back is right back to the cage. He's got to start circling out so he's not stuck in this position again.
Nick Kambasis right now. He's got Gino against the fence. This has been the story for the last 2 rounds. Just that grinding pressure.
And see, the problem with Gino is, we were mentioning the point style. He's got some great skills, but point fighters have a tendency, you know, to go in and out, straight forward, straight back, and that's where he ends up with his back against the cage, right? Is that straight back type of defense.
And a guy with a lot of movement, that's what you want to do, Kara. You don't want him to be on the outside and touching you up. High kicks, body kicks, switching stance, hooks over top, straights down the pipe, right? This is where he wants to be. Stylistically, yeah, he's playing a smart fight, is Nick.
Oh, here comes the intensity of Gino. Probably advice from his corner that you got to let it go if you want to get this W. And he's got to not smother himself. See how he walks in? Don't walk in, you punch in. You kick your way in, right? Because then you end up clinched up again. Yeah. There's those beautiful kicks.
Big kick, big kick.
He's got to keep them coming. He's got to stay at that range. His punches, you can miss with them just so you can land so you don't end up like this.
Yes.
You can miss so that you can land your kicks.
Yep. And here we are again. He's back against the fence. Gino Ghalehpardaz. Less than a minute left now. We're in the third and final round.
Nick did a good job in this round too, though, adjusting. When he saw the intensity of Gino and that he was going to throw his hands, he, looked to smother him and close the distance.
Oh, and that choke is in. Oh my God.
He's got to fight those hands. Oh, too late. Nick Kambasis getting the rear naked choke and really did a great job of the outside-inside work. I mean, you didn't know where it was coming from. He would go high, low, he would work straight shots and come around the outside, and that's what makes you really unpredictable. I really think the intensity was the difference. I think Gino came in with a little bit more of that relaxed mentality, and that kind of was tricky for him.
Yeah, I think that Nick Kambasis was just able to apply his style and his pressure, and that was what was able to give him this win. I didn't really feel at any time was his jiu-jitsu game overpowering Gino, but that pressure. He comes from a camp, you know, he trains with Justin Brookman. I said that earlier in the first or second fight, you know, a Canadian pioneer. He played smart, he got the top, he overwhelmed them. And the thing is, when you're getting overwhelmed, that's when you get desperate. And when you get desperate, you make mistakes, critical mistakes. And exposing your back is a critical mistake. The neck was there. Nick Kambasis took it. And right now, he is a 1-0 pro.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for both of the fighters in this cage. Your tap out came at 3 minutes, 27 seconds of the third round for your winner by rear naked choke submission, Nick Kambasis.
I think the
all right, congratulations,
not
Nick.
From here, but because of some of the fouls, you know.
Well,
it's
I'm not
hard
sure
for
if you made any fans or
fans to get
anything,
behind
because
that
they're
sometimes.
all booing really hard. But either way, congratulations. You are now an undefeated professional mixed martial artist, and it was a hell of a good fight, man. So I'll tell you what, take a couple seconds. We got a camera right here, and tell everybody who you got to thank in this building.
Too many people to thank, but thanks to all my friends and family, coaches, teammates, everyone that supports me, man. I couldn't do it without you guys. You guys are fucking amazing. You know, this isn't a part-time gig for me. This is my hobby. This is a full-time thing. I got a one-way ticket, and this is all I'm doing. So I wanted to show that here tonight. You're gonna have to fucking kill me to take me out of here.
Well, good enough, brother. Congratulations to you. We hope to see you again in the prospect cage. Congratulations. We hope we see you again soon, man.
Thanks, everyone. Love you guys.
Your winner, ladies and gentlemen, Nick Kambasis.
He might not be a fan favorite tonight, but he's walking out with a 1-0.
And a great showing, too. I mean, he worked well on his feet, high intensity on the ground. You know, when he faced somebody that was extremely tough. But Gino had beautiful kicks, had some great spacing, and was pretty comfortable on the ground. It's just the intensity factor. And he was in great shape. I mean, you bring that intensity, you know you have to be in great shape. And you know those fighters that you're going to have to face, you went through that, where it's like, oh, God, I'm going to have to be in such good shape to face this guy.
Yeah, no, the pressure is what won him the fight. Tough night for Gino. Excellent night from Nick. Kara, we're about halfway in. We're going in our first intermission. Fight fans, we will see you soon. Short break happening at PFC, London, Ontario.